are you all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Peyton. Today we're going to be talking about my spring TBR. And we're going to be drawing out of my Hello Kitty TBR jar for the first time. And I'm really excited. It's so cute! And the colors don't mean anything, but this is every physical unread book on my TBR. There's a lot of books, and there's a lot of honkers. There's a lot of chonkers. There's a lot of chonkers on there. So, I'm going to talk about some content plans, and I have an exciting announcement that will probably be towards the end of the video. So stick around if you're interested in hearing about it. Please make yourself cozy, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's talk books. Okay, so I do have a stack of physical books that I want to go over first that I'm planning to read this spring. Some of them have content tied to them, some of them don't. But the very first book on my spring TBR is Waterman by Samantha Soto Yambao. And I've heard mixed reviews about this. I'm like kind of shocked. This was on so many people's anticipated releases of the year, and I'm kind of bummed I'm hearing like very mid to mixed things about it. Still really excited to pick it up. It's such a beautiful book. Reads very much like a Ghibli film. A woman inherits a pawn shop where you can sell your regrets and then embarks on a magical journey when a charming young physicist wanders into the shop in this dreamlike and enchanting fantasy novel. So I'm still very excited to pick it up and read it. I'm hoping I like it. I'll be really bummed if I don't, but that's kind of how these things go. Next book on the spring TBR that I do want to read soon because I think it's set in the winter and I would like to keep reading while it's still somewhat cold out before it feels like too summery, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, it's We Do Not Part by Han Kang. I really love The Vegetarian, and I've wanted to read more of her work, especially since she won the Nobel Prize in Literature for Human Acts. I would really like to read that. And this is supposed to be this literary fiction with, like, from what I've read, it's some magical realism involved in it. It's about this woman in the dead of night gets a call from her best friend that she's in the hospital and she needs someone to go take care of her bird. So this woman goes through a snowstorm in order to get to her home and take care of said bird, but I think other stuff happens along the way, and it's set in the 40s. I think it's supposed to be very multi-layered. A lot to do with what it says the inside cover, like talking about like the darker side of in Korea's history. So I'm very curious about this one, and I will probably be picking this up sooner than the rest on this list. And it is fairly short. Okay, the next two books are going to be part of a vlog I'm planning. A horror vlog where I read books about ladies losing it. I haven't read these books, so I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but this is the impression I have of these books. The very first book for that vlog I'm planning, and it does, cover kind of reads kind of springy to me, and that is The Lamb by Lucy Rose, and it's just so beautiful. And it's kind of springy, right? I loved this cover and the UK edition. If I really love this, like this is a new favorite, I'll probably get the UK edition as well. But I'm not mad about it. I think it's really beautiful. And this is supposed to be a folk tale, a horror story, a love story, an enchantment. A contemporary queer folk tale about a mother and daughter living in the woods. And I'm assuming, I'm just taking a wild guess here, but there's some cannibalism involved. Gothic horror, maybe? Anyway, I'm very intrigued by this. And I love mother-daughter relationships in horror. So this will be on that. And the other book for that, there's gonna be maybe 3 to 4 books, but the other book I'm planning was kindly sent to me by a fellow booktuber, McKenna Loves Content. She sent me A Certain Hunger by Chelsea Summers, and I've seen this book everywhere, and I've always wanted to pick it up, and for whatever reason I haven't, but so now I have it, so thank you so much, McKenna. You are thebomb.com. And she said it's perfect for more female rage reading. Speaking to my heart. And I think this is about a chef, feminist horror version of American Psycho. Very excited about this one. Oh no, my surprise is here a little early. Hold on, she might be too little for you to see. My surprise or announcement is I got a kitten! Ah! I got a kitten. And oh, you sleepy girl. This is Yumi. Yumi, wanna say hi? Hi! She's purring so loud. This is Yumi. When I was in, you don't want me to talk about you? When I was in, she's purring so loud. When I was in Tennessee, my mom volunteers at a vet clinic, and while we were there, my mom was saying hi to some coworkers. Some guy brought her in and said he he didn't want her anymore and dumped her, which usually they dump them on the road. Where my parents live, unfortunately. But they brought her into the vet, and I was like, how could anyone do that? How could anyone do that to this precious baby? So this is Yumi. She is the new addition to our fur household, and she's a very sweet girl. They don't know really how old she is. They think she's like 8 or 9 months. She's a calico baby, and just a big squish of love. You wanna get down? Good girl! Alright, that was my announcement. That's my surprise. She showed up a little early. Back to books. I bet you all are so mad that a kitten interrupted this video. Hair on my... Okay, I think we're good. Alright, the next book, part of a fantasy trilogy. I have one more book left in the Poppy War, and I'm very sad for that to end. I just finished book 2 this morning, and I'm still emotional about it, but you'll hear more about that in a wrap-up video somewhat soon. So the next fantasy trilogy I'm going to dive into because I just really want to. I just really want to. I want to know what all the fuss is about. I hope this grabs me as much as it has like millions of others. That's Brandon Sanderson. So the next trilogy I'm going to be reading is Mistborn. And this is book 1. I really don't know anything about this world, this series, these characters, or really the Cosmere. The only book I've read by Brandon Sanderson was Trust of the Emerald Sea last year, and I loved it. So this will be, according to Brandon Sanderson, the best place to start for the Cosmere. Exact reading order is starting with Mistborn, so that's what I'm going to do. And that's that, and I'm hoping I love it and get sucked into it. Be a part of the cool kids club, the Cosmere Club. Alright, and another book on this list, I got it last year. It's part of my 2020, the next 2 are part of my 25 and 2025 TBR, and for whatever reason I always associate this author with spring. So what better time to read it, and that is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Now, this is about 2 brothers in grief and chess. I'm assuming messy miscommunication, complex feelings. I really want to read this so badly, and I really want to love it so badly because I've loved all of her other books so much. I do think she's a phenomenal writer, and for whatever reason, whatever she does works for me. I know a lot of people think it's like boring or dull and there's not really anything going on, and I disagree. I think there's so much going on with her writing and her characters and her stories. And the last book that's not really tied to any content, super pumped about this one because I just finished this author's other work, and that one is frontrunner for my favorite book of the year. I'm so stoked to read this, and that is The Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wong. I know this is about a mother and son in Japan, in feudal Japan, and I know the main female protagonist is a mother, and I'm really excited to see a character who's not like 17. I'm just happy to see an older character, a mother character in a fantasy novel, be the main character, and I'm really excited to read about this family and this world, and I'm sure it's going to break me and make me very sad. Probably make me cry, if I'm honest, because I'm still thinking about Blood Over Bright-Haven. So, and this was this author's first book. Of course, after reading Blood Over Bright-Haven, I had to come back to this. And it's like a big floppy paperback, my favorite. Awesome. Okay, the next part of my TBR is going to be ARCS, because you girl got a little too click happy with NetGalley, and now I have a ton of ARCs that I got approved for all at once. Don't do what I do with NetGalley. Just go into NetGalley, just assume you're gonna get approved for everything that you request. So don't do what I did. I was like, click, yes, I want to read this, and now I have a bunch of ARCs that I need to read. I'm gonna be doing a vlog reading down my ARC TBR because my feedback percentages are crap right now. So I'm going to be doing a vlog, probably 2 parts, reading some of the books I got approved for. So books you will probably see on that vlog is The Unworthy by Augustina Bastarrica, The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. I got approved, thank God, for When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy, probably my most anticipated horror of the year. This happened last year twice, where I got super excited for 2 books by authors I really loved their previous works, and they were both duds for me. And they both ended up in my worst and most disappointing books of the year. I'm hoping I love it. Some other books on that list: Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. Very excited for that one. I love the premise. I love how long it is. I hope I will love how long it is when I'm reading it. A queer vampire fantasy spanning centuries. Hell yeah, sign me up. Sky Daddy by Kate Folk and Rabbit Moon by Jennifer High. I also got approved for A Theory of Dreaming by Ava Reed that's coming out in August. That's the second book. I think it's just gonna be a duology. A Study in Drowning I read last year and really loved it, so I'm excited to read this one. I think it's more Preston's story, so I'm curious to see how it goes. I know a lot of people don't like Ava Reed. I did not love Lady Macbeth, but I really did like A Study in Drowning, so I'm hoping I will love it just as much. So those are a few of the ARCs that I'm planning to read sooner rather than later. I'll show a full list when I start these vlogs, but there's a lot of books. Alright, and now the part of the video that I'm really nervous about. I'm so nervous about drawing out of this TBR. I'm such a mood reader. I've always been a mood reader. Always. So making TBRs have usually not worked well for me. But I'm determined to read down my overflowing physical TBR. And I think this will give me the little push I need is to read more of my books instead of accumulating more new ones. Alright. I'm so nervous. Alright. Here we go. I think I'm mostly nervous. Just watch, it's gonna happen. You can't even see it. I'm mostly nervous about this big Penguin Classics, like massive 1200 plus page book, Count of Monte Cristo, which I do want to read very much. I just don't know when, on top of all the massive books I already have on my 25 for 2025 TBR. That's the one that scares me the most, but we'll see. All right. What is this one? Oh! When Among Crows. This is by Veronica Roth. Oh, a short one. I got this last year after I saw Carrie Can Read talk so highly about it, and I just really liked the premise of it. I think it's set in a fantasy. It's like I think this is an urban fantasy that's set in Chicago and has to do with Slavic folklore. I don't know. Yeah, that's all. And the cover is just so stunning. And there's gonna be a second book. So, oh, it's awesome. This is awesome. I'm so pumped now. Okay, yeah. One more? Two more? Two more. Because I don't already have enough books to read. Oh no. Crying in H Mart. Hold on. Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. She's the lead singer of Japanese Breakfast. I obviously bought this because I really want to read it, and I love Japanese Breakfast. So the reason I'm like not excited about this one is all the stuff that's been medically going on with my mom, and I think I'm just like a little scared to read this, honestly, right now. Alright, well yeah, I mean, I will give it a shot. I do want to read it. I'm just worried there's not going to be a time, at least anytime soon, that I'm going to want to pick this up. Right now, like, I do desperately want to read it, but I think the stuff that's going on with my mom is so fresh and ongoing that I'm just like, well, maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll help me, but I'm just I'm scared of this book a little bit, if I'm being honest. I've heard it's amazing. I've heard it's beautiful. I've heard it'll make me cry. Like, hands down, I know this will make me cry. Okay. All right. Let's see here. House of the Dead. The House of the Dead. House of the Dead. Oh! That is a Penguin Classic. Okay, this is a Penguin Classic by Dostoevsky. I mean, I didn't get the Count of Monte Cristo. Do I know what this is about? Absolutely not. I don't know anything about this. In January 1850, Dostoevsky was sent to a remote Siberian prison camp for his part in a political experience. The 4 years he spent there startlingly recreated in The House of the Dead were the most agonizing of his life. In this fictionalized account, he describes his soul-destroying incarceration through the cool, detached tones of his narrator, Alexander Petrovich Goryanchikov. The daily battle for survival, the wooden plank beds, the cabbage soup swimming with cockroaches, his strange family of mostly ugly, cruel convicts. Alright, this sounds light and fresh. A nice spring read. Alright, I will give it a shot. One more? One more. Sing Unburied Sing. This is by Jasmine Ward. I think I got this at a free little library because my friend really loves this book. and she told me I should read it. Part ghost story, part road novel. Dazzling journey through Mississippi's past and present, and an epic tale of hope and survival. Following a family making the trip from the Gulf Coast town to Mississippi State Penitentiary, seeing unburied, seeing tests the strength of emotional bonds and the pull of our collective history. In a hot-end landscape for a family reeling from loss, the trip is fraught with danger. This gorgeous novel, animated by Ward's lush and vibrant language, is a connection, meaning, and healing. I've not read this author before. It has a bunch of awards and accolades, so yeah, I'm hoping for good things. And it's like the soft, I love the soft paperbacks that are like kind of textured. I don't know if you can see it, but I love, it's just so soft. Okay, all right, that's my first TBR jar. Okay, which one which one out of all those books do you think I'm least likely to read? Let me know down below. Let me see if I can lift this stack up. So they're all, oh boy, that's a lot of books, plus the ARCS I have to read. So I gotta get cooking March, April, and May to read all of those books. So let's see if I can do it. Thank you all so much for being patient with me and letting me have this time for myself and my family. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves and everything's great. As always, thank you so much for clicking. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll have a new video for you soon. Bye! Bye.